This past Anime Expo had all sorts of shenanigans. On one of the days, my friends and I went to the cluster of food trucks located a block away from the con to get some lunch. There wasn't exactly anywhere in that area to sit, and we weren't about to stand in the 40-degree weather and get cooked alive. I mean, I guess our food would stay warm, but no, it was just too hot, okay? It hurt to be outside. I don't know how you cosplayers do it, but man, you guys are troopers. Kudos to you. So we head over to the block that's apparently called the Gilbert Lindsay Plaza across the street to look for some sort of shelter. During the Anime Expo weekend, this area is pretty popular for cosplay gatherings and just general lounging for people who need some air from the jam-packed convention. The hot blazing sun is still present, but fortunately there's a few trees to provide a bit of shade. Granted, you'd have to scooch over every few minutes as the earth rotated and the sun angle shifted. So we picked a spot and plopped our stuff down. While we were munching on our grub, we noticed that not too far from us was a high-Q cosplay gathering where people were having group photo shoots with others in similarly themed cosplay. If you're still unfamiliar with high-Q after I've been indirectly shoving it in your face this past year, it's an anime about high school volleyball. So the plaza was pretty much filled with Hinatas, Kageyamas, and Nishinoyas. Off to the side from the main gathering was a small group of friends, who were also cosplaying as haiku characters, rallying their volleyball around. And just by looking at them, you can tell that they actually did know how to play volleyball. They had total control and knew how to hit the ball safely to each other. Now enter another group of haiku cosplayers. Seemingly younger than the previously mentioned group, these cosplayers just arrived at the gathering, looking excited to see other brethren. However, they didn't look particularly interested in being with the main crowd, so after a minute or so they branched off to the side, I guess to figure out what exactly they wanted to do. As they were walking by, I overheard one of them ask one of their friends,
"Have you ever played?"
And they replied with,
"Yeah, I've played volleyball once."
And you'd think with that kind of uncertainty, it's probably not a good idea to rally a ball with inexperienced players, especially in a pedestrian traffic area. Not for these kids. Yeet. I think because they saw the other group of friends playing volleyball, they figured it was appropriate for them to attempt to do so as well. Assuming because they think they can contain the ball if they played within a circumference, the group of friends got into a circular formation maybe 10 meters away from us. The girl who asked the "have you ever played volleyball" question gets the ball and does an underhand serve to the other girl who she knew was inexperienced with volleyball. Ironically enough, the first girl made a pretty poor serve for a friendly rally, no offense, just being honest with my observations. The ball gets lobbed up pretty high, way past where she intended to serve it. And no one went for the ball! No one even called for it, and in volleyball, communication's pretty important. Literally, everyone in the circle had their feet planted and watched as the ball went up and land on a Sailor Pluto cosplayer's staff. Like, it could have literally gone anywhere, but on that day, that volleyball just decided, "I'm gonna wreck some shit today." Now, if the staff was laying flat on the ground, it may have stood a chance, but because it was partially resting on her bag, the volleyball kind of just came in like a meteor and obliterated the staff in half. Okay, probably not that violent, but it broke nonetheless. You guys remember that video game, Gunbound, and you have those boomer players shoot those super high angle shots, and you suspect them of hacking because it was almost as if they were homing missiles? Yeah, that's kind of what we saw. And remember, my friends and I were sitting pretty close to the haiku crew, and the Sailor Pluto cosplayer and her friends were sitting right beside us in the shade. Front row seats. So the staff snaps and the Sailor Pluto girl starts crying. Obviously, cosplayers spend a lot of time with their costumes and props, so naturally they'd be upset if something broke. And then I look up, and the haiku kids are frozen. Deer in the headlights, still with her feet planted. The girl who served the ball just had her hands over her mouth and they're kind of just looking at each other, not knowing what to do. Oh gee, I don't know, maybe apologize? Sailor Pluto's friends are trying to comfort her, and it's like the haiku kids are just thinking that if they wait long enough, maybe it'll fix itself. It was just too sad of a sight, so eventually my friend Phil gets up and also joins in to comfort Sailor Pluto and asks the other kids to come and apologize and figure something out. Eventually they did say sorry after hibernating for like 3 years and offered to take the girl to the cosplay repair. And I just couldn't believe that literally happened in front of my eyes, you know, it was almost scripted. "Do you play volleyball?" "No, not really." "Well, okay, here's a serve." And for some reason, this incident spread like wildfire because we headed back inside the con right after, and we were already hearing people gossiping about it.
Did you hear about that girl whose staff got broken by a volleyball? You won't believe what happened at the haiku meetup. Oh my god, this girl's staff broke out there.
More like Gossip Expo, am I right? I'm not sure if she was able to repair her staff, but I hope the Sailor Pluto cosplayer was still able to enjoy the rest of the con. And you know damn well she's gonna steer clear from haiku gatherings from now on. Ah, she. Y'all know I can't mention Haikyuu without inviting you guys to join Crunchyroll and having some anime and chill. If you're behind on Haikyuu, now's your chance to catch up. If you head over to crunchyroll.com/domics, link in the description, you can get a free 30-day trial of premium membership. Ad-free, professionally subtitled, and in full HD. It's my favorite place to watch anime. But on top of that, they have manga and drama titles as well. I know Christmas may be over, but it doesn't mean you can't treat yourself, or even a friend. Again, that's crunchyroll.com/domics, or click the link below. Enjoy, and Happy New Year!